Hello, this is the Taster Sessions, and in this episode we have cakes and questions and questions and cakes with Angles Sinfully Delicious Cookie Company. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to the Taster Session podcast. We are here with Mikey Markham, Rhythmical Mike,
Roisin RoRo Johnston,
and
Angel Crenshaw.
Hey!
You know, we're literally, this is season.
Episode.
This is episode 2,
two.
and we've already got a special guest in.
Yay!
Hallelujah!
Yay.
Thank you for coming and doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Angel,
Yeah.
before I hash your company up
Yeah.
and say the complete wrong name, what is your company?
So my company is Angles Sinfully Delicious Cookie Company.
Oh, you've done that before. I like it. So you're predominantly known for cookies.
Yes.
That's what people get you in for.
Yes.
But because I am a little bit odd, and I'm one of those celiac fellas,
Yeah.
we've gone for cakes because
Yes.
are they easier to do gluten-free?
Well, gluten-free because of the moisture content. It tends to be a little bit dry if you're doing cookies. So I haven't cracked that one yet. I'm working on
Good
it.
pun.
But the cakes just make it a lot easier to make gluten-free
Really?
because
And
they have a higher moisture content.
how long have you been doing this for? How long has the company been going for?
So the company has only been going since March.
Mm.
I did have it before, originally in 2015. We did trading for a few years, but because of personal reasons, I shut it down.
Okay.
Went on to do normal work for a few years, and then lockdown happened and I lost my job. So I had people showing up in my inbox, and apparently I had forgotten to take the listing off of Google.
Oh.
So I had a couple of calls from potential customers going, "Hey, are you baking?" And I'm like, "Oh, no." And they're like, "Well, why not?"
Yeah, what else you got to do?
And I had a lot of people in my inbox going, "Why aren't you baking?" So I was like, actually, maybe I should go back to it. So I did.
Oh, fantastic.
So we relaunched in March.
So, RoRo, can you show us some of the cakes to this camera here?
Can to this camera here.
Yeah.
Not this one. It's not. So this is the one that I'm like eyeing up a lot.
Is that where your heart's at?
This is where the heart's at. These are like the cocktaily ones.
So this one here with the lime, that one is a margarita. So it's got lime and tequila curd with lime buttercream, a little bit of homemade lime salt on top. And then this one is called Pirate Booty.
Pirate Booty. How
So
did you end up naming that?
It's spiced rum.
Oh, okay.
Alcohol and cakes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's spiced rum with pineapple and a little bit of coconut.
So this
Okay.
is it's like blind date, but not blind date. So number
Cake
2.
form. Here we go.
Tray number 2.
Oh my God. This is
Da-ba-da-ba-da.
probably my heart. This is where I'm at.
My heart's around here.
So this is a bit more traditional British flavors. So you've got this one, which is orange and chocolate.
Yep, there we are. That's the one.
Yep. And then we've got this one, which is rhubarb and custard.
Yes, to rhubarb.
Do you have one that you're particularly famous for, cupcake wise?
Probably the margarita.
Okay.
Everybody loves a bit of tequila.
Yeah.
So these ones we have chocolate. So there is mocha chocolate,
I
which
like
is
how you say that.
which
a
is
freestyler.
got, I use coffee from Buxton Roastery,
Okay.
so it's local.
Hey, another local business.
Shout out to Buxton. We love coffee.
Well, they do an amazing coffee. That's why I use their beans. And then we've got a German chocolate cake, which is actually not German at all.
Okay.
The guy who created the certain type of chocolate, his last name was German. So
Right.
yeah, they made it was kind of this weird American thing.
I love a bit of history.
Yeah.
With the cakes. That's fantastic.
So that's got it's pecan and coconut with chocolate.
When you're creating them, do you just have a little room at home that you create them in? Have you got a special design place, or is it your kitchen and it's just chaos?
Well, at the moment it's just in the kitchen, but
Okay.
we're aiming to get a unit that is out of my house and
Yeah.
a little bit less chaotic.
'Cause I was thinking that, like, all the washing and everything that go... Because were you saying before this podcast that sometimes you're doing 300, 400 units more?
Yeah, so sometimes we have big events, and that is just I take over everything. We have takeout.
Yeah.
Nobody uses the kitchen. Nobody uses the art room. I just kind of take over that space,
Amazing.
unfortunately. And it's just like a week straight of work. So that's why I'm trying to get into a unit, because currently my oven makes 16 cookies at a time.
16 at a time.
And what's your biggest order? Like if you're doing a big event, how many do you have to make?
The last event I did, I baked about 600 cookies.
Oh my word! So you're having
600.
16 at a time.
I was just doing the maths.
Yeah,
then,
I was
and
there.
that's
Then
a
my
long
brain
day.
went, no, we're not doing
2 or
maths.
3 days.
The baking is actually the shortest amount of time that it takes. The prep
Yeah.
is the bit that takes the longest, because you have to make the dough, you have to cure the dough, you have to portion the dough, which takes forever. Then you have to roll it into balls. If it's stuffed, which most of mine are, you have to stuff them, and then they go
Wow.
on to processing from there.
Oh,
Or
I
on
bet
to
you have no
baking.
pets. I
No.
bet you can't have any pets.
No, we don't have. A lot of home bakers do, and that's perfectly fine.
Don't
Well, no,
have it.
because what they do, what all of us home bakers do is we make sure that we have a cleaning schedule, so everything's cleaned from top to bottom before and after we bake.
No, I
Yeah.
meant snaffling. Like,
Oh.
I used to have a dog who open the
Funny-
fridge and steal stuff. Like,
Funny enough, I left the
Combat's
kitchen
gone.
window open once.
yeah.
And our next door, our across the street neighbor, their cat's weird.
There we go. That's what I'm talking
It
about.
jumped into the window. It was on my counter.
Yeah.
I was like, the window
Cat
was only
thief.
open about 3 inches. Literally jumped in, and I
Got
was
like
like,
cream
Wow.
all around its face.
it didn't go anywhere near the food, thankfully, but it was kind
You
of
should
weird.
stop making mackerel cookies.
That's it. There you go wrong.
I did try to make a blue cheese, a Stilton and apricot one.
That was going to be a question of what's the weirdest combination
Yeah.
you've
That
gone
one.
for.
That one's probably the weirdest so far.
Blue cheese and apricot.
Yeah, because Bluebell Dairy, have you heard of it?
No.
That's
in
near Oakwood. Is that in Derby?
Spondon.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's near
yeah,
Loco
yeah.
Park. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
the ice cream.
So
Oh.
their ice cream, I tried the apricot and Stilton once because I was like, that's gonna taste gross.
I bet it tastes nice.
But it was actually
Yeah, it sounds
Was
nice.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
creamy
it-
cheese. Cream cheese
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah, of course.
But
course.
this-
like
well,
icy.
Yeah, but it was
I
like a
like it.
sharp blue Stilton and,
Yeah.
and a sweet apricot, and I was like, that's never gonna taste nice. But it did, so I was like, I wonder if I can make that into a cookie. It didn't work out for me because I didn't get I couldn't get the apricot strong enough.
What if you made it like a muffin and then put like the icing on top?
Yeah, that would probably work
Everywhere.
better.
I suppose it's good to get known for a weird thing, though, isn't it? Having a
Yeah.
niche. Because I worked for a chocolatier
Yeah.
in Belper. It was I Should Cocoa. Have you ever been there?
I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
that.
but he had a Guinness and Marmite chocolate.
That sounds nice.
But again, we'd have people coming from Nottingham and all over,
Yeah.
and they were just, "Is this the place that does da 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 da?" And it was always that chocolate.
Yeah.
So they knew it from that. And yeah,
Yeah.
if you can nail a weird thing, people will find you from all over, won't they?
Yeah, well, I've gone away from cheese, obviously.
Okay.
In October,
Yeah.
we made a decision to make all of our products vegan.
Nice.
So they are
okay.
all animal product free.
RoRo, go. Just think of a weird combination that you might try for a cookie. What do you think?
Crikey. Oh, crikey. Just like at the top of my head.
Doesn't have to be even a combination. What would just sort of oh, that's a bit random, but maybe it could work.
I don't know. Maybe trying to make it. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's Sunday. So let's go for like something that's a bit
Sunday
savoury.
roast.
Yes, that's what
A
I'm thinking.
Sunday
A
roast
Sunday roast
cookie.
cookie. So you could use potato because people use sweet potato
Okay.
and stuff for baking.
Yeah.
So you could use veg.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And like sweet carrots. Like I'm thinking some kind of gravy on the top that's like an icing.
Interesting. Okay.
Some
yeah,
dried
yeah, yeah.
onions on
I'm
it.
with you.
Come on, let's just get going. Let's go. There.
Okay.
A
Mine,
roast dinner one.
I'm gonna go with a olive, like an olive and lemon and olive one.
Yeah.
Just
Would it be a
'cause
green olive or a black?
I think green to start with. Let's keep it fresh. Keep it green. It's got the look to it. I just love olives, so that was the first thing that come to my head. I was like, yeah, I wonder if that within a cookie form.
What's the
But-
smashed up paste stuff? Is that tapenade? Tapenade?
Yeah.
Yeah, tapenade. You could have like a tapenade in the middle. In the middle of it.
I like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have gravy in the middle of the other one.
Right, should we? Because we've also today we need to mention we've got Sust with us. Sust.
Yay!
Hello, Sus. Thank you. This
Thank
is
you, Sus.
an independent business with lots of imaginative questions. We played it on the last one.
That's
That was
fantastic.
your emotional intelligence. This one is the Wonderlands version. And I think it's just a bunch of very wild, crazy, out there questions. So speaks my language.
Yeah, speaks to me.
So that's how we're going to do this taster
Taster.
session. We're going to do a cake and a question.
Question and a
Is
cake.
this going to be called Questions and Cakes?
Questions and cakes round.
I
Let's do
like
questions
it.
and
This
cakes.
is we've found our title for the episode.
There we go.
So let's go for a cake.
Please. Can we go for the... Yes.
Which one do you want?
Oh, let's start with the piratey one.
Okay.
Pirate speaks to me.
I'm going to pop it up and you can grab it.
Okay.
Do you like these finger holes that you put in?
Finger holes.
Gina? Okay. Oh, I've gone
Oh,
straight. Oh, Mikey
careful.
Markham. Come on. Got to go in with a double hander.
Mikey Mike. There we go.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Hey.
Thank you.
And then for you, right, let's get her a plate
For me,
for Mike.
I never
Plate.
eat my own stuff.
Well, today's...
Imagine if the first time you
Shall I
did
pop it
and you were
up
just
or
like,
shall I
oh
leave
no.
Well, no, I occasionally taste them, but
Oh, you got it. Oh,
I hardly ever
there we go.
eat my stuff. Could you imagine the size of me if I did?
Do you know what? I'm a bit nervous about today because I haven't had sugar all January.
Oh,
So,
you're going to
yeah.
be like, tomorrow you're going to feel
Absolutely.
bad.
It's crushed.
You're going to have a little, like, come down from the sugar. Oh, my
100%.
word. This is amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Jesus
Mikey, you're so
Christ.
messy.
I did warn they are a bit messy.
Right, there we go.
If I eat all of these...
Oh,
I'll
that
get
is a
sick.
good consistency.
what I do.
Oh, there's stuff in it.
Oh, my word.
Wow, okay.
I did say.
I'm getting
Are
excited
you ready?
now.
Right, do we go together? Yeah. We wait, okay, because I was so close then to diving
Don't
in.
do it. Wait. Oh, my word.
No, thank you. Yeah.
There we go.
Rightio.
Oh, dear, I made a mess of it.
Are you all ready, team?
Yeah.
Ready?
Rightio, okay. Wow. Oh, mate. I love this podcast.
Good, isn't it?
Oh my god. That's amazing.
This is the Rick Ross. This is good.
Well, I'm gonna. I really mean it. That is absolutely incredible.
Messy.
That's
Just lick your fingers.
I don't want to start on too of a high, but
This
I've
is
got
what
to.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I'm already there. Like, okay, we can't go with really high because then.
I think
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna jump in with an 8.
I was going to say, can we
off.
reserve a place? Yeah, it's going to be an 8. It might
It's
increase.
so good. I didn't expect that to be my favourite. I know I've tried one, but it might win the day.
That's what I'm saying. It might
Because
creep up a place.
That was so lovely. What was the bit in it then? What's the?
So it's got
Yeah,
a vanilla.
talk us through
It's
it.
got a vanilla cake base, and then the bit in the middle is a pineapple, rum, and coconut curd.
Wow.
And then it's got a spiced vanilla buttercream with a bit of rum in it, and fresh pineapple on top.
How do you make the buttercream so good? What have you done?
I whip the crap out of it.
Chases it down the street.
Is that what Keith likes?
It's got cherry
Absolutely.
with a whisker.
No, you just. I use I actually put salt in it
Oh.
because I don't. Traditionally, I hate buttercream because I don't like it super sickly sweet.
Sometimes it can have that texture to it, can't it? That sugary.
Yeah, so what I do is I always mill down into a fine powder a bit of salt and add that to it. I use a good quality vegan butter.
Nice.
That is definitely key. And then just the icing sugar. British icing sugar is a bit different than the American stuff. And I say that, and it's really funny because the one I use is actually from a British company.
Right.
It's Tate and Lyle.
Oh, yeah.
Which I never knew was British because we grew up with it. But they use corn flour as their anti-caking
That
agent,
makes things thicker.
where the other ones tend to use, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a different anti-caking agent. But I find it's way too powdery and it has a grit to it.
Yeah.
Where the corn flour tends to incorporate better and it has a nice smoother consistency and it's consistent.
Like
in its,
binds it.
Yeah, it's always the same. I never have to
love
worry
how
about
you
it.
articulate this as well, and you
sorry.
can feel your passion. No, it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's so exciting when I hear somebody who truly loves what they do.
I like
And you
playing
can
with
tell.
flavors.
That's good.
And it's important for me to get good results every time.
Like a cake wizard.
Well,
Wow.
these are actually just cake versions of the cookies I make.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done today.
The cookies are interesting.
You're a genius.
You are.
I don't know about that.
You are.
Genius.
Okay, right. We're gonna go with a question. From Sust. I'm going to pick it at random. Here we go. I'm going to go in the middle, and this is the one. Okay, you ready? If I was offered a ride on a winged horse, I'd be more wary of A, motion sickness, B, vertigo, or C, the horse. Okay, what do you think for me that I would be most wary of if I was offered a ride on a winged horse? Motion sickness, vertigo, the horse. I had an answer straight away.
I have, yeah. I think
Do
it'll be
you,
the
do you have
same.
an answer? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think for me?
I think it's going to be the same as what mine is going to be. I think it's the horse.
No.
Really?
I live on a livery yard.
Yeah, that's true. But would you be like, I'm on a fucking horse and it's flying? Not like, oh, I have vertigo. Like, there's a horse with wings.
I'd be alright. Vertigo
Yeah.
means heights, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I had vertigo during Corona times. Do you know where you get dizzy?
Yeah.
And that was one of the worst experiences of my life. Have you ever had it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you? Oh my god!
I've made a fool of myself at a water park. I had to go back down the stairs and everyone's looking at me like...
That's the height thing, but
Oh,
I had like
okay.
the dizzy
Oh,
one.
I've got you like the
where I
head.
was lying
I couldn't
down.
jump down the thing.
Something to do with crystals in your ears and they
Okay.
get lodged or something.
Okay.
So there's a manoeuvre for it.
Right.
But shall I not imagine that to be the height thing? I'll imagine it is the height thing, not the thing that I had.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Did you see a proper doctor or was it a witch doctor who told you about these crystals in your
No,
ear?
it's
No, vertigo is it is a thing.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
the
bad
crystals
thing,
in the
yeah.
ear thing.
But you don't have to be
No,
high
it's
up
not like
for it.
crystals. I think there's probably a very scientific name for it,
Yeah.
but they're like crystals that lodge in the ear. They're always passing through,
Right.
but then they get dislodged, and you have to like do a maneuver. Have you heard of that? Can't remember what the
crystal
maneuver's
maneuver.
called. Everyone, honestly, it was so
I think
weird.
it's one of those things that if you don't have it, you never know.
No idea. I heard that on a podcast recently. Somebody was talking about vertigo. It was on Russell Brand's new podcast.
Yeah.
And they were discussing it. And Russell Brand didn't think it was a thing. And he was just taking a mick out his mate. He's like,
No,
you
it
don't
is-
know what I went through.
It is a thing. I know
Yeah.
it's a thing because I've known people that have had it, but I've never had it myself. So.
Honestly, I'd try to do anything to get away from it. So back to the question. Yeah, okay. The heights I'm okay with. Oh, it's the motion sickness then. Yeah, 100%, because that is vertigo in its essence. Have you had motion sickness experience before?
Not motion sickness, no.
Do you suffer with it at all?
I've had it
Bella?
on planes, yeah, and on boats.
So you were the horse.
Yeah, mine's the
Were
horse.
you scared of horses?
I'm going to level with you. I've never ridden a horse.
Ever, never?
No.
I haven't either.
Oh, girl.
Guys, look, we've got so much opportunity for the rest of the day. The three of us
horse
just on a
riding.
hack, gone
I'd feel
together.
bad. I'd feel bad for the horse.
Yeah, that's just why I'd be aware that I was on I'd be like, I'm on a horse and it's got wings.
I have ridden a sheep though.
I've done a donkey.
You didn't
Not a
feel bad
sheep.
for the sheep?
I was 6, so
Say.
It was
Is
all
this
right
some
for
kind
the
of
sheep.
illegal?
no. My friend's family ran the fairgrounds, and they had a
Okay.
few livestock.
Ah.
So we used to ride one of the sheep because you could just grab a hold of its fur, and go,
Wow.
or wool or
Bolt.
whatever. Yeah.
Could they go fast?
They didn't because they were still in the stable.
Mm.
They didn't go very far.
Safe in
But
there.
I was 6, so
Oh. I've done, donkeys. It's Skegness.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
You got like led round the
Yeah,
beach?
Yeah.
Did it?
And
Was
in
it
my
very
head,
docile?
I'm a cowboy. Like, kind of thing.
No, I've never been on a donkey.
No.
Done a camel.
I've done a camel.
Did you do a
Yes,
camel?
Yeah, Lanzarote.
Camel's quite fun.
Yeah, they spit
Yeah.
and they run off.
But again, it is one of those moments where it's good for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I've done this now.
Yeah, and you kind of going side to side. Yeah.
Horse has got varying amounts of speed that you put it through.
Right.
You've got trot, a rising trot, a canter, and then you got the gallop. So
Are you one of those
exciting.
people that does the dancing thing too?
I've
What's
never
that
done the
called?
dancing
What's
thing. No.
Dressage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dressage.
That
Yeah.
is so weird.
They do
It
dressage
is.
to music.
It's like tap dancing with horses, isn't it?
It's really
odd.
wild.
Yeah. How
my-
do they get the horse to do that? Because that's
Well, I imagine you train it just like you would to train to do
Yeah.
anything.
100%, yeah. Have a load of in conditioning. Give it a pat when it's done well.
an apple.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'd
It's weird,
I'd be
isn't it?
hashing that up.
Yeah.
But the dressage to music's quite good because that's again, they have to choose. I film it for them, and they come to me, and I'm getting all the different beats per minute of the songs up, and then they have to do it to the time. So like a walk could be slow, then they get the canter, and I've got to change the song up. And it's really interesting.
This is
Wow.
something you actually do.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you
I make the
beatbox?
music for them. No,
Bum,
they'll choose like they'll choose a David Bowie, then they go to something like Beethoven.
I need to see
and then they
this.
finish with a bit of Oasis.
Oasis.
Genius, yeah. They calm down.
Amazing.
To a horse.
This woman came and did all the Game of Thrones, different songs in Game of
Oh
Thrones,
my
and it was
word.
pretty
Du-
epic
du- du-
actually.
du- du- du. I bet it was.
I've never actually watched that show.
Oh, mate, you missed out.
Yeah.
I do. I love Game of Thrones.
I read the books as well.
3
one of
times
those
through.
I watched all the
nerds,
Dexter
yeah.
though.
Dexter. I started Dexter.
I
It's,
started
it's
it.
pretty sinister, isn't it? Rather dark.
Well, yeah.
Hey, we didn't go for you. Were you the horse as well, Angel?
Heights.
Oh, you were heights.
all day long. Yeah.
Where have you been and most terrified from? Have you been up the Eiffel Tower yet?
No.
No.
No, I've never been anywhere exceptionally high. My most experience with heights has been, because I've avoided it, has been when I was in the army and I was on the top of a tower. We were training.
You're in the army.
Yeah.
How long for?
8 years.
Oh wow.
It's a great podcast guest. You've got honestly, while we were just talking before the podcast, I was thinking,
It was.
you've done a lot with your life.
I have.
8 years in the army. Was that in this country or in the
No,
States?
in the States.
What were you doing on this high?
So we were going through basic training, so normal stuff. But we were up at this tower and we were supposed to be helping each other up and helping each other down. And I got like halfway up and I was like, yeah, no.
Can't go for
Started
it.
crying.
Oh,
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
bless
no,
her.
sir, I would have
Got up to the top. We had these ropes that we had to go across. But you have to go across them several different ways. And I was crying the whole time.
Oh.
And the only reason I didn't fall is because I was terrified to fall. There was a net about 20 feet down, and
Wow.
I didn't want to go in it.
No,
So
you don't,
I was
do you?
no, I
Yeah,
was
no, you
terrified.
don't,
Ended
yeah.
up tearing my rotator cuff coming off one
Oh.
of the ropes because the guy, the sergeant, grabbed me and pulled me off the ropes. But my arm went back behind me.
Oh, word.
But then I had to climb a 70-foot cargo net with a shoulder that was whacked. Yeah, it was interesting. And then we got to the rappelling.
Interesting.
Yeah, we got to the rappelling side where you put on your harness and you rappel down, and I was fine.
Seriously.
And he was like,
that
"What's
'cause you
wrong?
knew you
What's
were-
wrong with you?" I said, "Oh, I've done this part before. I know I'm safe on this part." I said the other part I wasn't strapped into anything, so I was not okay. So yeah, I don't do well with heights. Like I
No.
never climbed trees when I was a kid because like this short tree at preschool I got stuck in. I'm like a cat. I can get up, but I can't get back down. I always thought maybe it's because I was tall because I'm 5'9", so
Hey.
everything looks higher.
I've not seen you stood up. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You stood up.
So I think it's just because everything looks higher when you're taller than it would to somebody who's shorter. I don't know.
I
Not
would,
an
I'm
expert.
sure. A little hobbit. Okay, I like that because all of us had a very different answer.
One, yeah.
I was A, motion sickness, you were B, vertigo, and you were C, the horse. We'll sort that out for you. I'm going to make sure I
Hey, let's have a day on horses.
ease you into these horses.
Yeah, never.
Okay, another cake.
All right.
Ooh.
Shall we do a margarita?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course,
please.
of course.
All right.
Is there much
do the
alcohol in this?
finger
as well?
No.
Any alcohol content?
Yes.
Some
There,
alcohol.
there is some alcohol.
Brilliant.
So you do need to eat it responsibly. But it is perfectly safe for kids to have and stuff because there's not enough to.
To mess you up.
Send you
How
wild.
depends
Send
how many
yourself.
they eat.
Oh, I love it.
If you could eat loads of these, then
I really I like the colour
I
of these
do.
cakes as
Fresh
well.
looking.
All the way down. It's got different
Yeah.
Yes,
layers.
definitely has layers. I like to make things complicated for myself.
Mikey, can I borrow that knife, please?
Oh my god, I didn't wait for you.
It's all right. That's a sign that it's delicious.
Oh dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was actually going to remake these this morning.
Turn the knife, there you go. Why are you going to remake them?
They didn't come out exactly like I wanted to, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I was going to remake them, but I ran out of time.
Wow. Honestly, you are the master at cakes. Do you know what it might be as well? Because I've not had sugar for so long. I think this is extra for me. Everything's amplified. Wow. Is there salt in that one as well? I'm getting quite a nice salty taste within that.
Sorry, I've got my mouth full.
This is incredible. I like the green stuff.
Really good.
That's the lime curd.
Yep, that's
Lime
the lime
curd.
and tequila curd.
We'll get Angel to just go through this one as well. It's really helpful having the actual creator on the bus with us. Because last time, Angel, we had all these different ciders. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
Bad boy cider.
Bad Boy cider. And
But we didn't know much about
we were just really bad at analysing them. And having somebody on that's actually, you can go through all the process. It's awesome to have. So, yeah, give us a rundown of this cake then. What have we just had?
So that one's the vanilla base again, and it's got a lime and tequila curd in the middle, which is the green bit. You've got a lime and tequila buttercream, where you've actually got tequila in it. And then I make a lime salt, so it's sea salt mixed with lime zest.
See it before it falls out.
And I just sprinkle that on top.
Seriously nice.
Because you can't have a margarita without salt. That's
you
just
cannot.
weird.
I mean, for me, I'm sticking to my original.
With the pirate booty.
With the pirate booty. But that's going to be very, very, very hard to top. I don't know how we're going to top that. I'm excited to see. But yeah, I'm going a 7, and we've still got an 8 over here. Where are you at?
It's a 9.
Is it a 9 for you?
I love citrus, man. Like, this speaks to me.
I think that was the same with last time with the beers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although rhubarb,
okay.
that's why rhubarb, I'm like, that could be overtaken by rhubarb.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That-
good.
Really, really good. Thank you so much for bringing
Yeah,
these today,
these
by
are
the way.
amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to pick a question?
Go on then.
Here we go. Come on, Sust.
Come on, Sust.
There we go.
Trying to reach around
So
the cake.
those margarita cakes I've had.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me choose one. I'm going to choose between 1 and 4.
1 and 4. 2.
Okay. I'd want my dream water park to have A, the world's longest water slide. B, a lazy river that runs through a rainforest. Or C, a lake race on giant turtles. A lake race on giant turtles, like you would want to have the race on the giant turtles.
It's a
Gotcha.
good question, that one. I do like that. Because it's very varied on days for me.
Yeah,
It depends how many people are in this water park.
that's it. If it's just you and your own, giant turtles is going to be...
But then also, have you been to a water park where you're on the lazy river and it's just heaving?
Yes.
Because that was the one that spoke to me. But
Not so much heaving, but yeah, I've been on the lazy rivers before.
It looks like when people like dump loads of rubbish into a river, just people on dinghies just clogging it up, just they're like, oh, it's horrible.
yeah, so basically everyone's just a piece of litter.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
I like
see you
it.
later.
They have whole parties and stuff in the States where the people just go floating. So you've got like your cooler with your beer or whatever, and you've got your inner tube, and you just float down the river
Wow, that.
with a bunch of other people.
Do you know they do that in I can't remember if it's Bali or somewhere as well, and there's bars all the way up and down the beach, and you could keep dragging yourself into Laos it is, but they had to stop it because too many Australians were getting drunk and dying. Literally, it was amazing. One of them places, it's like you can't have nice things.
I was
'cause
about to
of
say,
drunk
Australia, ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. You keep going in, you'd pull yourself into a bar, have your drink, and go into the next.
That sounds awesome.
Rubber dinghy.
I'd love that.
Yeah, it was a really special place.
It'd be like a stick. What's it like the guy in Venice?
Like a
Like a
gondola.
gondola.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a gondola. Just a pissed up gondola.
Just
amazing.
do that 3 again. Because...
So, it's the world's longest water slide,
Mhm.
a lazy river that runs through a rainforest,
Mm.
a lake race on giant turtles.
Right, I think you are a lake race on giant turtles.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I like the idea of the lazy river through the rainforest, but I wouldn't stay on the river long. I'd be off into the rainforest. But the giant turtles sounds like quite spectacular.
And for Angel, I'm gonna go. You look like you're into the lazy river.
I'm going turtles.
Are you lazy river?
I am lazy river.
I thought you were
Yeah.
lazy river.
Yeah, chilled out, relaxed. The rainforest sounds great, but
Honestly,
if there's like
Spiders.
spiders, I'm all right with. Well, but crocodiles,
You could make insect cakes.
those are actually really nice.
Yeah, because they use like they make the flour out of the beetles. There
Yeah,
you go. That could
one
be
of my
weird things you could
oh,
do.
that's cool.
one of my
Insect
daughter's
cakes.
one of my
Creepy
daughter's favorite foods is mealworms.
There we go.
I used to eat crickets when I was a kid.
A lot of protein in crickets.
Yeah, well,
Good
the
source of
Mexican kids
protein.
used to bring it to school. I forgot what they're called in Spanish, but
Cicadas. No, not
no,
cicadas.
but you've got to take the legs off
Okay.
because they get stuck.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
well, 'cause
imagine
they've
it.
got little barbs. on them.
I will eat anything, honestly.
But they're like lime and chili flavored, so it just tastes like
Oh,
sunflower
yeah.
seeds.
yeah, that-
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once you get past
Yeah,
what you're eating,
yeah, honestly.
Cognitive dissonance.
like the one time I had sweetbreads.
Oh, and it was me.
Somebody ordered that for
It's
me at a restaurant.
Yeah, you don't want to eat that.
And I was like,
Yeah.
What's that?
a sweetbread. It's
animals.
like the thymus gland
Oh, okay.
of a lamb or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thymus gland.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
And you're not really supposed to eat the brains of animals, are you?
No, but people do, don't they?
People do, yeah. It's like the nose to tail diet,
Yeah.
the carnivore code. But I've heard sort of the brain. You get like mad cow disease and stuff, don't you, from
Yeah.
the brain?
Yeah.
It's like when people eat monkeys' brains. and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Mate,
Yeah.
no.
There's only one thing I've ever eaten and not liked, and the clue was in the name. It was in the Vietnamese War. They had this fruit that the sort of Vietnamese would go and eat through, and I went to the Cu Chi tunnels. Have you heard of them?
No.
It's where the Vietnamese. No one really won that war, but
What
it's
was it
where
called?
the Cu Chi tunnels.
Okay.
That honestly. And,
She's like, did you hear me?
yeah. You say that again.
What did you just say?
It was they used to basically they dug all these tunnels, and this is how they beat the Americans.
Right.
They go into the tunnels. They could be like 40, 50 meters down, and then they just keep coming up, popping them off, and going into the tunnels.
nice,
And
okay,
obviously,
yeah.
Vietnamese were really small,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they could go in the
fast,
tunnels.
yeah.
But you probably know more than me about this in your history lessons. But I went to Vietnam, and the only thing that they ate in these tunnels was called vomit fruit.
As it smells like.
Oh my god, it was the worst thing I'd ever eaten in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
And it was the texture, the consistency, the smell, everything.
What's it look like?
Vomit.
Does it look
It's
like
a little
vomit?
yellow fruit, yeah. Some guy just give you a bowl of vomit. Hate
You
this little
got,
kid.
you got played. They're like laughing at the English guy.
But, yeah, that's the only time where I projectiled
Oh my
while I was there.
word.
It was awful.
Why did they
Yeah.
eat that in the tunnels then? Because
So
all they-
only it's
'cause
all
you
they
just
had at the time.
You're eating them.
I mean, maybe
They,
they're
they might be
accustomed to it.
used to it.
Yeah.
It's like
how long we
durian.
got to be down here for?
A lot of people don't like durian, and it stinks, and it smells like
It's supposed to be like flesh, isn't it?
Oh,
I've not had one.
it smells really bad, but it's nice.
We should do a weird fruit one.
I think an answer also for that, the Americans would drop these bombs that would kill everything. Apart from this fruit would literally survive. I think that was one of the cases. Yeah, you go to these forests and all the land was just destroyed, but these fruits were just popping
Out of
out.
some kind of horrible karma, though.
Yeah.
They're like, yay, we survived, but
Maybe don't eat it.
Oh, yes, at the
Might have kind of absorbed all the shit that they've just dropped on us.
The good question. Did we all have a different answer there?
We did.
I didn't answer.
You've
actually.
not.
Yeah, guess
We
me.
didn't guess. Oh, I think
Longest slide.
no, because I'm thinking your ears with your vertigo.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like the longest one. I said this earlier to Chrissy. I said it to you as well. When you're on a camel, you got 10 minutes. This is great,
Yeah.
and then it's done.
But it depends.
Same with
If
a
it's the
slide.
longest slide, like a straight one, then yeah, I get that. 'Cause
Okay.
that's just a bit boring. But what if it's one of those that like does
You
the
go up the
tunnels and
side.
it does the
down,
lights? And
lights. Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know which ones you've been on. I was always kind of scared of them though, because sometimes you go up a bit high and they don't have covers.
I like that. Yeah, but I know what you mean.
And you're like, I'm gonna go up and over.
I've had that in Spain where I'm like, is this safe? I just fly off
They're
it and
good,
die.
but do you know the ridges?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're going down, it just keeps cutting your back.
Yes,
It's like
yes, yeah.
da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I've had
I
that.
hate
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
I've
it's
had
got
that.
shitty sealant.
It's why I think sometimes because you lose the ring that you're on, the rubber dinghy, and that's when it starts to take it off your skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that if I was on a nice rubber dinghy and there's lights going on, but maybe we need to amplify these questions.
I reckon you're going to be giant turtles.
I think it was
Yeah,
that
because it's more fun. You're not a sit stiller. You're a
movement.
yeah.
I need a bit of movement.
Yeah.
The going through the forest though did appeal to me because I thought, oh,
like
there
the
is
forest.
scenery though.
But you'd wanna
There's
get
stuff to
off.
do.
You won't just stay in the water looking at it. You'd want to.
Yeah. I'd like to be in a bit of movement, and the turtles sound fun.
Yes.
100%. Sold it at Turtles.
Turtles it is.
Turtles.
Okie dokie. Another cake.
Oh my god.
My favourite bit of the day.
Ooh, it's cake time.
This is ace.
Right. I'm going to do the poppy bit. There you go. So you take yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhubarb and custard.
Rhubarb and
This one
custard.
has got...
Hello.
There we go. Some for the
stop.
microphone.
There we go.
Got it.
You're gonna have to.
I've got it.
Got
You
it.
got it?
All
Yeah.
right, my arms don't go any longer.
Awesome.
I love the one that's lost a bit.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh, what are the sprinkles? What have we got on the top?
It's just coloured sugar.
God, oh, beautiful. Right here. You are so right, RoRo. I'm going to have a massive crash later. Can't
You're going to
wait.
feel rotten tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah, you will.
No.
You're like a sugar come down.
I was
Sorry.
gagging for chocolate last night, though. I needed chocolate.
I was. I've stopped smoking, stopped vaping as well.
Ooh, sorry,
It's all
Well
right, you've
done.
got luck.
the bit in the middle I was so excited about.
But it just makes me
Hey,
want
well
sugar.
done for stopping smoking.
Last night I was like, ice cream. I was there like, just have the vape. But I was like, no, eat the ice. Like, stop it. Tomorrow you're eating cake.
Oh,
you.
mate.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's...
didn't have birthday cake yesterday, so.
Oh.
And we're going to get you to dissect it after, but is that jelly in the middle?
Oh my god, is
Oh,
it jelly?
okay.
No.
No, I'm excited about it. I'm
Get me excited, mate. Not there.
just going to say
Like
finger
you're
in
just
it.
Okay, my lovely.
Okay, you ready for this?
Ooh.
I've waited this time.
Well
Ready?
done.
Go for
Okay.
it.
It does look very beautiful.
It's like cheers. You have to look each other in the eyes. Try not to chew down the air. Lid's dropped off.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I like about that one is it's not an initial punch in the mouth, but then it builds up. I bet people that like ASMR are really into this podcast.
I actually hate the sound of people chewing.
That was beautiful. Honestly, you've amazed me, the consistency that you get on the base. That is so perfect because it's not too anything.
Yeah.
It's not too,
Not too heavy.
stodgy. It's still got lightness to it, but also
It's very difficult with gluten free.
you've amazed me. And honestly, I thank you so much for doing it gluten free because I've not had a good gluten free for years. I can imagine it to be hard because so many companies fail. Like, if you go to Sainsbury's or something,
Yeah.
Don't do store bought
Honestly.
gluten free cake.
it's just not worth the money.
Take that off you.
Amazing. Go on then, Angel. Run us through what we
So
got. How have we
the
done
vanilla
it?
base again, and then you've got a rhubarb curd, and then
Perfectly
it's
sliced.
got custard with actual custard powder, buttercream,
Wow.
and then just the pink sugar on top, so you know what it is.
Yes. Okay. Again, that's blown my mind. So I will go for that all day, every day.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to order a case of them off you for the next festival we have. But it was definitely on par with the lime. It was really, really good. And again, I think it's the fact I've not had sugar for a while. I'm buzzing off of this. I'm going, yes, take it. So it's another 7er for me.
You've got him where you want it. Right, so the pirate one was my 8. The lime was my 9.
9er.
I'm going to put this one at a 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love honesty. I
Oh
love
dear,
RoRo.
I'm going down.
No, you went 8, 9, 7. You went 8, 9, 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Respect it.
Thanks.
What did you want a little bit more of?
Rhubarb.
Sharpness.
I want it sharp.
Sharpness.
Yeah, and you know that because I'm like, I like sharp, punchy.
Yep.
What?
I am working on
through.
getting this company that I use a lot for freeze-dried fruit because it still has the
Oh, that would
nutrients
work.
and the flavor to it that you can't get from fresh. I'm actually going to be ordering some of their rhubarb powder
Nice.
to see how that reacts
Yes.
with the,
You're
with
going to
the
put it in
recipe.
the flour?
No, I'm going to sprinkle it on
Oh,
top so
okay.
it's nice and tart.
I have rhubarb at the garden, just bake it, and I'll just eat it out. You know, that's
It's
sharp
too
I will
much for
go.
me. Too harsh
I
rhubarb.
want my
So
face to be
I did enjoy that because it was a gentle build up, and I
Yeah.
went, "Oh yeah, there's the rhubarb. That's
Yeah.
lovely." But you really
I want
love
to punch.
rhubarb.
Yeah, I want to
Well, my
hurt me with rhubarb.
Keith's workmate ended up with a load of rhubarb in their garden, and they're like, "Can you use it?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I processed quite a bit of it over winter because we've got a chest freezer. So
Nice.
cleaned it up, cut it up, and then just put it in the freezer until I need it, and then I make curd out of it every
Nice.
time.
Right, it's your turn to pick us a card.
Let's go
Here we
with
go.
that one.
Yeah. Good choice.
All right. Oh, these are some good questions.
Well played, Sust.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, the scariest creature I can think of comes from A, my imagination, B, storybooks, or C, the real world.
Wow.
I have an answer.
I mean, I've got an answer. Have you got an answer,
I have
RoRo?
an answer. Yeah.
Have you got an answer, Angel?
Yeah.
Okay, we've all got an answer. Do you want to guess mine first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think yours your imagination.
Yeah. It is definitely.
Yeah.
I've had enough times
Yeah.
inside my imagination.
Yeah.
Play that
Sometimes
in front of
yourself
me.
as well. Yeah.
Oh, that was unexpected. Cheers, imagination.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But then I did just think while I was doing that, I was like, yeah, but part of my imagination comes from the books.
Yeah, it's
So,
all, yeah.
It felt very
Influenced.
intertwined.
Yeah, it is.
And I wonder where it came from first. But then there's things that I've not seen within the books that I could add on to with the imagination and take it even a step further.
But people who create the things in the books, it comes from their imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
But then it's yours to interpret
yeah.
and twist and
Yeah.
turn.
That's why movies about books tend to be a bit disappointing for readers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it
you-
doesn't match
yeah,
what
styled
they've
it. Yeah,
envisioned.
Great answer. Okay, so A, B, or C for RoRo. Just remind me the A, B's and C's.
A is my imagination.
Yeah.
B is storybooks. C is real world.
I'm going to go with RoRo. Real world.
It's more imagination, but real world's like behind it.
Just
like, hey,
yeah.
I exist. And you're like, I know, you terrify me.
Let's do Angel and then we'll
Okay.
talk on that front. So I think imagination.
Yeah,
You've clearly got
you're
quite
imaginative. That's what I'm
No.
thinking about these
Wow,
cakes.
what? I thought
No.
you have you've got a wild imagination.
I
But
do,
are
I
you
do.
thinking of bubbles, rainbows, and butterflies then?
A lot of times.
Yeah. Okay,
Just
so
glitter everywhere.
yeah.
No.
Wow. Okay. So where are you at?
I think my scariest creature would probably come from the real world.
Real world.
Yeah.
The beast of the.
More like people.
Yes.
I get ya.
People. I get very worried about some people and their mental health and the powers that they have. It's quite scary because it affects
Everybody.
a lot of people. Yeah.
Making big, powerful decisions. I think I remember you talking last time on one of the sus questions, and you mentioned it was about the environment that was one of the things that was most baffling to you and worrying.
Yeah.
So that's where I sort of took that from, thinking, no, she's quite grounded into the real world and sees the destruction.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, oh, I bet it's that. But
Yeah.
yours is imagination.
I would say imagination, but again, there's loads of nuances to that, isn't there? Like, so that could be like myself, that could be like doubt, that could also be like, you know, when you're a kid and you create that scary monster out of a silhouette that you see in the dark that's actually a flipping suitcase, or, you know, it can be anything. And I think that's far more terrifying, because it's all the things that you're scared of. You can just build your own kind of mental minotaur and torture yourself with it. But there is definitely there is monster in man. So that's.
And again, are you quite tied in with the political sphere? Are you passionate about that?
I hate politics.
Do you hate politics? Try and keep out the door
politics. I don't like going into it because I think they've all got their agendas.
Yeah.
No, yeah, totally.
And I don't think that any one person should be making decisions for people.
It's mad. One person in charge of everything is insane.
I think if they want to have a dick sizing contest, get them in a ring.
Yep.
Have them duke it out themselves.
Yeah.
Leave the rest of people to do what they want to do.
I like it. Clean your rules off when you're done.
Do you tend to and try and stay out of it, not look into it, keep out the media front, and make cakes and enjoy yourself more?
I'm aware of it, but I also think that I've got one life.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the gift that I'm given, and I try to enjoy it as much as possible.
Have you ever been wrapped in with it before, where it was sort of taking away all your mental space?
Not so much where it became an issue, like where I wasn't able to focus on other things instead of. But I mean, there's been moments in my life where I've been worried about the consequences of politics.
Like with COVID, I think there were brown trouser moments for me with COVID.
Mine was immigration.
Stuff that was going on where you're like, shit, like, where's this going? Like, what's going to happen? Like, they're making a mess of it. Like, you know, like, what?
I was just going to say, because it's quite interesting, because you were in the military as well. Did you leave because of anything
No.
that accord? No,
I probably would have stayed for the full 20 years. But I have a bad knee.
Oh, really?
So,
bad knee, sister. High five.
that was probably due to the army and ignoring injuries, because I was brought up to where you kind of ignored your pain and you pushed through it. So I didn't go seek medical assistance when I should have.
Oh, bless you.
And obviously, as you probably know, it aggravates over time. So unfortunately, that ended my career in the military.
You had any surgery on it or anything now?
I was supposed to have surgery on it, but I haven't had any problems with it.
Do you know what it is?
I have no cartilage in my knee.
Oh, just grinding down.
Yeah, it's called runner's knee.
Yes. Bless you.
And at the time when I got diagnosed with it, the orthopedic surgeon was like, I don't want you running anymore. But at the time I was running 4 to 6 miles a day because I loved it. So I had to stop.
This is why I love this podcast. From world politics to poorly knees.
Yeah.
All over the place.
But I didn't get out of the military because of politics.
Yeah.
I probably would not go back into the military.
From what you know now.
Because it's very different from what it was.
Where you were. Okay.
I mean, a lot of it's probably still the same, but I was raised within a 5-mile radius of 3 military bases.
Okay.
And I was raised as a military brat as well. So military for me, when I grew up, because of my background, I felt very powerless. And being in the military, you were a superhero.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had
status
that,
as well.
Not just status, but you were helping people, you were saving people. That was what was told to us.
Understood.
Yeah. So for me, I wanted to help people, and I didn't want to be powerless against bullies and stuff like that. So I wanted to join the military to help people.
Wow. I'm doing a podcast soon with somebody that came out the Marines. And did you feel a similar way in he really struggled to function outside of it to even the extent of he'd used to book in a dentist appointment in the military, and that's it. They book it for you. They tell you to turn up. You go there. You have it done. Just the small things of functioning outside the military was just dropped. There you go, you're out. Yeah. And he struggled with things like that, of booking the dentist appointment and things.
Luckily for me, because the tail end of my service, I had been reserves, so I still had more civilian life. But that is definitely a huge, difficult transition for a lot of people, because especially lifers that have been in for 20 years, because 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know what you're doing. You know what you're wearing. You know what you're eating. You know what you're doing.
You know what it reminds me of? You know Shawshank Redemption, when that guy gets out? Is it Rock or Crow?
Yeah.
And he's been in it. He kills himself because he can't do anything. He doesn't understand the world. It's like the same kind of...
It does happen.
Yeah.
It actually... That very ending does happen a lot.
Can imagine.
Especially if they've been deployed. A lot of them come back and they don't know how to cope with not only what they've endured over there, but life outside of the military. It's because all of a sudden you're given all this responsibility, and the stresses are different. Your mindset's definitely changed, and anybody who says they haven't is in denial, really. I mean, like I said, my life didn't change too much. I was still pretty much a civilian towards the end, so my transition wasn't that more difficult. Plus I had a kid, so I she was my priority. But for other friends of mine that had been in longer or done tours, it was really difficult.
Yeah, you become sort of like institutionalized. You've got your structure given to you.
You really do, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a great thing when you're just kind of dropped out.
I was
just
just
a choice as well.
They do. Well, they used to. I don't know what they do now, but because I've been out for quite a while. But they used to do like this 2-week transition. Where you're
like rehabilitated kind of thing.
No,
2 weeks.
It was
military rehab.
It's not quite enough,
it's basically where you're processing out. So you're handing in all your equipment.
Yeah.
And, they're supposed to give you classes on how to apply for jobs and use your abilities that you learned in the military into jobs, or go into school or stuff like that. And some of them are really well done. Some of them are not.
It's quite a common misconception that people think, it's PTSD, it's really extreme forms, and it's not that actually. A lot of the time it's just, how do I fit back into this society, this structure, and this community? Well, I mean, small nuances.
You look at basic training, the whole thing that they do. It's 6 to 9 weeks where you're stripped of everything. You go in, you're not where I was. You weren't allowed a newspaper.
They pull you back and start you again, don't they?
I mean, all your personal belongings were put into your bag and locked into a room. You had nothing that they didn't give you.
Wow.
And that's quite interesting, because I mean, even growing up a military kid, I was like, wait a second. But it was good, because what it does is it at the base, it teaches you to let go of your ego.
Yeah, it levels the playing field, doesn't it? Because you're all at the same.
We had a couple of guys who were gangbangers. Because some people that join the military are not there. On
with good intentions.
Well, they're not there on their own behalf.
Yes,
I get you. Yeah, I get you.
So they don't necessarily get along. They don't want to let go of their life. They're not there for the same reasons you might be there.
Another factor why they sort of shave everyone's hair off at the time as well, is that sort of to detach from ego as well, sort of that sense of character.
I think that might be part of it, but it's uniformity really more than anything. Everybody has to look the same.
Yeah, makes
cookie
sense.
cutters.
Yeah.
My hair was quite short when I went in, but they wouldn't have made me cut my hair, but I didn't I wanted that extra 3 minutes of sleep.
Nice.
So
well, remind us what the question was, just to get how did we get there? That was
thinking
beautiful.
of all sorts of stuff to talk about now. Yeah,
scariest creatures.
That makes sense.
How did we
Makes
get
sense. I love this
the
podcast.
military.
Okay, let's go for a cake.
Yes. All right. So we're into chocolate now.
Yeah.
Do you want to do another citrusy one?
Oh, it's up to you. I'm gonna let you choose.
So let's go for. Let's go for the coconutty one.
Way.
Because I have a feeling the last one we're gonna do is the that one because it's got quite a strong flavor.
Shall we
Oh,
push
okay,
yours?
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You push it out and you.
Comes after.
There you go.
I'll take it off your hands. I'll grab myself one. Again, genius inventive move here. The finger hole.
It does help a
There we
lot.
go.
I don't know why they didn't make them like that to begin with.
Beautiful.
Because the first time I ever used it, I was like, how do I get the cupcakes out?
Upside down.
I used to have to jab a knife in and kind of like jimmy them up, and then I was like, I wonder if you just put holes in the bottom and stick your finger in and push it up.
Is jimmy them up an American term, or is that, do we use jimmy
don't
them
know.
up? I just
jimmy
loved it. I heard it and I thought, that's great.
Jimmy. Is Jimmy like a shimmy? Like a pushy?
Oh,
Is it a movement or
it's
a reference?
a jimmy? You move
Jimmy
it.
them up.
Jimmy
You
it.
go in and then you jimmy it up.
You Jimmy it up.
Oh, okay. Something else in the middle. Oh.
Yep,
Ah,
it's a filled one as well.
Are we ready?
Go for it.
Okay.
I'll catch up.
Oh. Show it. Show. Looking good. Is it caramel?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's a bit crumbly.
That is so good.
It reminds me of Christmas.
You've nailed the cake bit as well, because a lot of people that do gluten-free cakes, the base always turns out like a brownie. Yeah, and it's very stodgy. But that particularly, the chocolate base, is really fluffy. Did you feel that was really fluffy bottom?
To be
I don't know that's gluten free. Sorry.
to be fair, that's what the vanilla is usually like.
That's stunningly good. You see, I'm making little halves for Chrissy after, but that one might not end up getting in there. Yeah, I'm big into chocolate, and I think that's just pipped the other one. I really like that. It's because of the textures in it as well, though. You've got the nuttiness, and that's a completely different texture.
And the coconut.
Yeah, then the flavour pops through, and then you've got really fluffy, and then you've got this. What's in the middle then? Go on, run us through it. Yeah.
So I use a Dazan cocoa base. So it's chocolate. It's 2 types of cocoa. So it's Terra Rosa and black carbon.
Lovely.
then-
Black carbon.
In the middle, it's a very bitter chocolate.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
I like mixing the two because it makes it really
Yeah.
rich. And it's a good all-arounder. Like it tends to go with just about everything I make. The middle is it's not a curd. It's like an icing that would go on a traditional German chocolate cake. So it's condensed milk.
It's got like a bitter kind of. Is that from the?
It's condensed milk, coconut. Excuse me. Coconut and pecans. And then it's cooked down.
So it's the dark chocolate that I'm getting.
And then the top is Terra Rosa and
Terra Rosa.
and black
the
carbon
Pixies album, isn't
frosting.
Wow.
And then obviously with the coconut pecans
Yeah.
on top.
Oh wow.
But that's another thing, the coconut. You've got the crunchiness of the nuts, but then the coconut's got another texture to it, hasn't
Yeah.
it?
It's one of my
Beautiful.
favorite cakes from when I was
Yeah.
a kid.
You're really good. I'm gonna go 9. And
Wow,
honestly,
thank you.
I'm really into chocolate, but that's done and executed perfectly.
When you have quality chocolate, it definitely makes a difference. I started using Dazan last year, and they've been very kind, and they've been sending me the different chocolates that they have to test out.
Wow.
And I've been I can't go back to the grocery store stuff.
No, it's so true though. I used to work for Thornton's and
Yeah.
then went to that
He's
chocolatier.
worked for all the chocolate
Yeah.
factories ever.
Well, Dazan
Thornton's.
it's sustainably sourced.
Wow.
They've got different branches of their company all over in the States, in Japan, Australia, I think,
Fantastic.
Europe, here in the UK.
I'm gonna watch this back and then I'm gonna go and order myself
Gonna be
some.
making some notes.
Yeah, note time.
I'll let you try some when you come around to the
Oh,
house
yeah.
because I've got all 6.
Really?
Yeah, all 6 cocoa powders, and they're all different colors. It's brilliant. I never knew. I've done baking my whole life, and I never knew there was such a variation in chocolate.
Yeah.
Like especially cocoa powder. You just go, oh, cocoa powder.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it's not. They've all got different acidities. They've all got different flavor profiles. They've all got different colors.
Again, I love your
it's-
knowledge base on this. It's so exciting to
It's
me.
brilliant. I'm still getting to learn about Dizan, but I definitely can't go back to the
Dizan.
store-bought stuff. Yeah.
We'll make sure we clip this bit out for
Yeah.
Dizan as well.
I've got their bag over there if you need to know how it's spelled.
Dizan.
Shazam.
Go on, RoRo, where are we at?
Well, I'm not huge on chocolate.
Okay.
That's why I'm all about citrus. So I'm going to stick this next to my rhubarb one. About 7. Yeah.
You're a 7er. Okay.
Citrusy.
Fair
You're
enough.
ever, yeah, you
On this one,
citrus lady.
citrus lady. Fresh and
Which is
fruity.
your 9 was the
the showstopper.
awesome radio, and a question from moi. Here we go. Okay. Sussed. Where are we at? Okay. At an auction, I'd bid the most for a tiara that was owned by a fairy, a chess set made of dragon's teeth, a bow and arrow that belonged to a... Read that. What word's that? A centaur?
Centaur.
Centaur. What's a centaur?
It's a Greek. A centaur.
Isn't it like a horse person?
It's a horseman. It's a
Horseman.
man horse.
Yeah.
I've
Centaur.
honestly never heard that word.
So the bottom is the
Centaur.
horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the top is the man. So in Greek
One of my
mythology.
favourite actor played that in the Wardrobe film. What's his name?
No, he's not a centaur.
Is he not a centaur?
No, he's like
What's
a
he?
goatee
That's a
bit.
goat one.
Yeah,
Goatee
he's a
guy.
they've got a different name. There's different
What is
ones.
that film?
That's Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Lion Witch in the
Yeah.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he played well in that.
No, he was a lovely character. He was a good guy.
James
McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
James
He's
McAvoy.
great.
So he's
James
not a
McAvoy.
centaur. He's a
Goat thing.
different
I
thing.
don't know what
Goat
the
right.
man.
one's called.
I've got a picture of a centaur though. Build it up for me again.
Centaur.
Centaur.
Horse
Centaur.
bottom.
Yeah,
Horse
horse
bottom.
bottom, man on top.
Man on top.
Yes.
Rip man.
Yeah, like where the
Typically
neck is...
when they're
Quite
drawn, yeah.
rip, yeah. Do they have centaurs in Harry Potter? I think.
I don't know. I've never...
You've not seen Harry Potter?
No, I haven't. Okay.
That break my heart, man.
I've seen 2. I've seen 2.
Right.
One I fell asleep. Free
Okay.
time. Yeah. That's
Do,
not,
do you like your Harry Potters?
to be honest.
Okay, no,
Break
you're not
your
going to get
heart.
it from Harry Potter. There's a bit where this evil, one of the witches, and she like chokes one of them out.
I
and
have
think
seen
it
all of
is
them, but
a centaur, but I know exactly what you mean. Okay, do you want me to read it again?
Yes.
Okay, at an auction, I'd bid most for a tiara that was owned by a fairy, a chess set made of dragon's teeth, a bow and arrow that belonged to a centaur.
I don't know where you're going to go. I know what you're going to choose.
I think I know.
It's a centaur's bow and arrow. Come on.
Yeah, it is. Now you've explained one
Yeah,
to
I
me.
can-
I'm
yeah,
like,
you're like,
of course,
sounds
man.
good.
I'll be with that all day long.
I was going for the tiara at first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that because I'm all
Just
fancy and
kidding,
jazzy?
Just kidding.
Okay. For you, do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I think you do know how to play chess. Do you?
I don't know how to
you
play
don't.
chess.
Oh, you're not
I'm
going
someone
for
who's
that
going to
then.
teach me, but I don't know how to
Okay.
play. Yeah.
Well, that was what I was going. What would you have gone for, RoRo? What do you think she would have had?
Probably the tiara, because it's got to have some kind of magical powers.
Yeah. Did you have an answer?
Yeah.
Really? Well, which one?
It's the bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow. Yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Going out in the wild.
Yeah, let's go
See, I
shoot
thought,
some
I thought
shit.
the tiara might have some magical powers, so maybe that would be a bit
I
more.
mean, I do like a
It
tiara.
would definitely have
Yeah.
magical powers because it was owned by a fairy. So
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know
All the
what?
magic
Yeah, I'm
within
a little bit. But
no,
with the,
no, you've made your bed.
I could do more with the bow and arrow. If I got the tiara, I wouldn't like
You picked
throw it
bow
at
and arrow
people,
now, you
like,
can't
what?
go
No,
back.
I'm going to stick with the bow and arrow.
And you're fairy. You're the tiara because of the magical power. Oh,
Yeah.
can you play chess?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Hey.
I like chess.
Yeah.
A set made of dragon's teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. You got to kill a few
That's
dragons
pretty
though for that
cool.
actually.
Yeah.
How many pieces?
Oh, that's what I was gonna
I'm
ask.
I'm gonna pretend
Yeah.
that they lost them naturally, like a
Okay.
tooth fairy situation.
You got them from a dragon dentist.
There you go.
You'd remove
Exactly.
them all.
I was going to say
Exactly.
that's a good
They lose
2 or
their
3
teeth
dragons.
like sharks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense. I honestly, I was going to be like, do they? No,
I don't
actually, is that how they do it?
don't
How many chess pieces are there then?
don't
Bring
know.
you to the faces now.
I don't
Stop asking
know.
me weird questions.
I don't know. There's like
I'm gonna go in the 30s, 30 something
How many chess
altogether.
And
on
how
the
many teeth
chessboard.
does a dragon have?
yeah, I don't know.
3 million.
No, I used to be one of those
3 million.
kids that was not very popular in middle school, so I used to stay hanging out in the library playing chess.
Really? And did you get pretty good at it?
Yeah, I played chess and I played Pogs.
I had Pogs. I had the Pog Maker. I had Pog Island. I had
Nice.
I was like really.
I used to
into
love
Pogs.
getting the metal slammers
Yeah,
because those were always like a sure
Yeah.
thing.
the shinies.
Do you remember the Pogs?
I didn't play Pogs.
Oh.
No, I've never played Pogs.
Did you guys
Would
ever?
I like Pogs?
It's just like a
I-
stack.
I
and
know
then you just
checkers.
throw
I was
the-
good at checkers. But...
It's kind of like marbles, but with
Oh.
pieces of cardboard.
Yeah.
Some marketing person somewhere did a really good job.
Yes. Yeah.
What was he selling it
It's like
for?
milk
a pack
caps.
as well.
Yeah. They were expensive.
£5 a
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah, and then
Here's some bits
you
of
could make your own
cardboard.
where you could put people's faces on them and then
Okay.
throw the finger there.
I'd give that a go. I played Conkers. That was a good one.
It's like Conkers, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never played that.
Never played Conkers.
No.
Oh yeah, you could cheat with Conkers as well.
No.
You used to be able
well,
to
there's a
like
will.
put stuff in there. You put it in vinegar as
Yeah.
well. But I can't. Do you remember what people put in the Conkers?
I used to put nail polish.
Okay, yeah.
Clear
No,
nail polish,
I didn't
obviously. I don't know if it's like bright red. Like,
On
what have
those
you done?
nut things that fall.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the tree. Yeah.
Whack it at each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my kid, when she was in like year 6 or something,
Hit her
she
in
was
the
like,
eye. Oh.
I've got conkers, and I was like, what is
You
conkers?
go to the doctors.
I was like, what is that?
And the thing with chess, have you seen that they're getting robots to beat people at chess now and so on? Have you not seen that? There's so many goes that you can do,
Right.
but you're putting robots against people and they're all beating people at chess. There's another game. Have you heard of Go?
Yes.
Like so many
Yes.
millions amounts of varied moves,
Yeah.
and they're getting AI to start beating people again. It's like
So AI's thinking of like the different sequences.
yeah, algorithms behind it, and they're beating like the chess champions and so on.
It's just going to
And
drive people mad.
Now
though.
they're beating people at that's one of their worries that
Yeah,
it's
what's the
started to
point in
like
that? You can
out
Put
Yeah.
people over the edge.
wild people. A good game. I'd literally watched this last night, which is very interesting. But there's a boxing chess. Have you seen that?
No.
It's Russia. Of course, it's Russian.
I was gonna say.
But they have
From
one
Chechnya.
round of boxing, 3-minute round.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's because it puts the brain into a certain state, which is fight and flight. It's
Yeah.
very alert and switched on.
And then they sit
and
down
then they
and
play a
play.
game of chess,
What?
and they do that. I think 6 rounds. Get up, smash into each other.
How long
back
do
to
they
chess.
smash the shit out of each other and play
3
chess?
minutes.
So 3 minutes of each.
No, and then they have to play a full game of chess. So whoever wins first, and then
Wow.
go back in.
Well, that's a good long rest if you need
I was gonna
to.
say-
Yeah.
Next question: how long does it take
Yeah.
to play a game of chess?
Oh,
It can
man.
take any amount of time.
Oh wow!
There was this Afghani guy who I met in San Francisco that taught me how to do this move where you could win literally in 3 moves.
Yeah, I've seen that done.
But it's contingent on them moving one piece.
Of course.
But if they move that one piece, you can beat them in 3 moves. I can't remember how to do it.
No, I've never got into chess. Too many rules. I like checkers. Go to the side. I'm
I love
done.
checkers.
Yeah. Okay, another cake is
But
it?
you don't
or-
call them drafts. You call them checkers.
Is that the American version?
We call them checkers.
Is that
yeah.
checker?
I thought
No,
drafts was the American one.
No, we call it checkers.
Although drafts just
checkers.
sound more pompous, doesn't it? So it's probably
But when
more
I
British.
went to go buy
Drafts.
checkers-
It
Say
makes sense to be
drafts.
checkers though, really.
Yeah,
because it's
'cause it's
checkered
checkered.
board.
Yeah.
Checkered board,
Like
yeah.
Checkered trousers.
When I went to go
checkered-
buy
Yeah.
it for my students that I used to have, I went to go buy it and it was drafts, and I was like, "Is this the same thing?"
Drafts just makes me think of like letting the cold in or something's on tap.
No, it's spelled different. It's
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
a
the
homophone.
first time I thought, oh, the Americans have done that right there.
Yeah.
Because football,
Careful now.
Yeah.
football, that blows my mind. I don't
Football that
understand.
doesn't involve the foot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one where I go.
I
Come
don't.
on.
I don't like that game. To
No.
be fair.
Do you
I
not
will-
like
I will-
soccer?
Oh, I thought you meant like American football.
No. Football.
With the ball and the foot.
Yeah,
the
there
soccer.
you go.
I prefer baseball
Do you like
and basketball.
that?
Those are my favorites.
Have you been to an NBA game in America?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes. Yes.
Courtside with
Warriors?
all the...
No, not courtside. Are you kidding? I ain't got that kind of money.
That'd be crazy. Is that where all the full-on celebs go down courtside? Or just got
people with
bare
connections
books?
or people with money. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Must be
pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah. No, that's probably one of my bucket list things, really.
Yeah.
Baseball
Not be
or
courtside,
basketball.
but basketball. It's
Yeah.
just energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fabulous. I used to play all the time because I was quite tall. So people were always like, "Oh, you should play basketball." I wasn't that tall when I got to high school, though.
No,
I was dominated over everybody till I got to
Yeah.
high school, and then everybody was like
Else shoots up.
higher than me.
I remember at one point in my life being taller than people. All of us have our day.
Yeah.
And then you go for a summer, you come back and you're like, well.
I was the tallest in primary school.
Yeah.
Literally the
that's it.
tallest kid.
Yeah,
and
they
then
come back, everything
game
changes.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of my rugby team because I was really one of the better players for Derby, and then everyone just kept growing and growing and growing. And then I think 15, that was it for me.
Oh.
Got it. Yeah, the sob story comes out now. 4 cakes in, and I'm just like, oh,
Silent,
when I played
please.
rugby.
Silent.
See, my little brother had the exact opposite because he's got a chromosomal abnormality.
Okay.
So he's got Klinefelter syndrome, which causes elongated bones. So he's
Oh,
6'9",
Wow.
6'10",
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
Not do very well on this bus, would he?
No. Get that man in the movies.
No, he's incredibly tall and lanky.
Yeah.
But when he used to play roller hockey,
Mm.
which is like ice hockey but on rollerblades, and he was on the little kids team because he was a little kid.
Yeah.
But everybody
Yes,
else's parents were like,
this is unfair.
Get him
he's a
off.
teenager.
Yeah.
Get him off. And they're like, no, he's like 9.
That used to happen to Mike Tyson.
It used to work out really bad. Like him and my daughter used to go trick-or-treating, and the amount of adults that would just, oh, let me get a picture, you're tall.
Really?
Let me get a picture. And it was
Jeez.
really
I bet he hated
embarrassing.
that.
Or
Yeah.
they'd go, you're too old for trick-or-treating. And he's like 12, 13. It's like,
Aw.
come on. Like,
Bless him.
yeah. So it went the other way because they were trying to get him off teams because they thought he was older because he was too tall.
What does he do now for an occupation?
He's a security guard.
Ah, okay.
Same as my
Yes.
mom.
Winter cleaner.
No,
Great.
he's a security guard, and I
He
think
just
he.
picks people up by the heads. Come here, you.
I don't know if he monetizes it, but I know he plays video games and he
Oh,
streams.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's monetized or not, but he does that primarily.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. If you can monetize it, go forward.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go for cake. Let's get it. We've got another chucky.
So we're gonna do a
Yeah.
citrusy chocolate now.
Good shout. Good shout.
All right.
Excited for this.
So
Are you good with citrus chocolate together? Is that
I
yeah?
like citrus.
Bring it back
Citrus
round.
on everything for days.
Thank you, lovely.
You're
Good
welcome.
shout.
I've told my dad I'll pay him with cake today. Oh, it's got Jaffa. Yeah, I'm interested.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that looks good
Yeah,
inside.
it does. Oh my word.
Oh, it's yeah.
This is like
Nice and sticky.
this is making
Sorry.
No, don't ever be sorry about that. I'm ready.
good. I'd rather not,
Wow.
Mikey.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It looks.
that's the one.
Yeah, it looks.
I did say at the start, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I said that was going to be the one.
Yeah, it looks like it's the one.
Oh my god, it's the one.
Yeah, this is.
It's won the day.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
You've done so well.
Definitely.
Did you think that would be the one for us? Did you?
That's amazing. Oh, I'll get that.
Yeah, it's gooey. It's like a Jaffa cake. It's a Jaffa cake in cake form.
It's an actual Jaffa cake.
It's a real Jaffa cake.
Jaffa cake's on
Yeah.
cake.
Got chocolate
Not one of them
literally everywhere.
made up makeshift Jaffa cakes. This is the real
Yeah.
full on bad boy Jaffa cake. Yeah. Angel. That's one of my favourite cakes. I love that. Right, run us through it. Tell us where we're at.
So that one's the same chocolate base. And then it's got a homemade homemade orange curd. So it's made with orange juice and fresh oranges
That's amazing.
and orange zest. And then I've got orange zest in the buttercream as well as the cocoa.
How do you make that bit set then in the middle? What's the process? Because
Just want to eat more of
that
it.
feels like when you made the cake, if you put that on, is it like a fluid that's
Yeah.
going on it?
Well,
and then
it's
it
like
sets in the...
like a curd.
Mm.
So it's like a jam kind of consistency.
And you make your own curd.
All of them.
Everything's
Yes.
Do you
made
sell
from
just like the
fresh.
curd?
I can.
You should.
Mm.
Especially this bad boy as well.
Yeah. That
That's
was...
definitely my
Yeah.
favorite. It's my favorite
Absolutely.
cookie too.
Is this your favourite cake, this one?
No,
Really?
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Which is your favourite?
the margarita.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
banging.
Wow.
Go on then. I
Is-
think we're all going to hold up the same scorecard.
Yeah, okay. I'm going in. That's a
It's
10.
10. Yeah, it's a 10.
You
It's
win.
10.
Did that?
Good.
You didn't think that was going to be the 10 for the day?
I didn't know.
This
It's
one's a
it's
10
more
as
of a
Preference for people.
it's more. I think it definitely does better here in Britain than it would in the States because it's a British.
Such a known.
It's a known
Chocolate
flavor.
orangey.
Chocolate
Yeah.
orange. Yeah.
Is that not a thing in the States then? Is that not something they put together?
I think we do have it, but I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm only from California, but
Compared to us, you are.
it's not.
On this bus, you
yeah,
are the expert.
you are the States expert.
It's not a huge flavor. Where probably something like a pina colada type flavor or
Yeah.
a margarita that would be more known to us
Yeah.
than a rhubarb and custard or a chocolate orange.
No, that's good inside knowledge.
Yeah.
Learning lots on this podcast today. Okay, another question.
Yes.
Now. Oh, hello. I think it's your pick.
It is.
Here we go.
Covered in chocolate.
Chocolatey pick. Make it easy. She says. Oh no! Don't drop them.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
52 pick up.
Yay! 1 to 4. Pick one.
4.
Okay. I'd rather have the power to A. Teleport, B. Shapeshift, or C. Become invisible.
Oh, one of those questions.
Oh, it's one of those questions.
I like these questions.
I like these questions.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Definitely.
Okay. How are we gonna go? Are you gonna choose for me, or shall
I'm
I
going
guess
to guess
you?
for you.
Okay.
I'm going to go with teleport.
Oh, okay. Shapeshift.
Shapeshift. Why?
Because I could turn into different things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
I could walk a mile in
an
everything shoes.
inanimate
Hold on,
objects
hold on.
mostly.
What would you turn into first?
Anything I want.
That's what I would want
You'd
to know.
just be stuck as a like. Have you seen Rick and Morty where he's a pickle?
Yeah.
You're just stuck there as a pickle.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be going for like pickle. I'd be going for like, elephant or,
Oh, it could be an
like
animal.
Some flying stuff. Something can fly.
Yeah, but
a
somebody's got to
planet.
fly you. You're not flying yourself
I'm a
just
bird.
willy nilly. I
I'm
mean,
on
a
a
bird's
plane.
fair.
Don't
Yeah.
fence me in.
I mean, yeah, I can get being a
dragon.
bird. If you want to be a dragon, interesting. Yeah, I'm vibing.
Could be
But
like a transformer.
you'd be isolated. There wouldn't be any people,
don't have to be-
things like you around that are talking, going around and being whatever you are being.
Just be me.
You'd be your soul inside of whatever it is. So wouldn't you feel very alienated in a world of birds that you're not going to get a similar language barrier and stuff?
I didn't think about it.
So you got to think about these things. It's an important game.
Maybe not.
willy-nilly
Because
when you're
maybe
at
when
the-
you shapeshift into that thing,
Yeah.
you shapeshift into having the ability to
To
communicate
that's
with
what
that
I was
thing.
thinking. Not like I'm there like
I'm
I can't
saying-
speak the me no speak birdo lingo.
I'm saying you're going to struggle because it says you. So being everything I know now gets put into something. And that soul, that essence of me is then that thing. Surely everything I feel and I think of now would just go into it. So I can't speak bird now, so why would I speak bird then?
But can you imagine like the amount of shit you'd learn?
It would be
Like,
interesting.
'cause we
It
can't
depends how long you've got to
communicate.
be it and if you
Yeah.
can keep switching around
I mean,
and stuff.
you could change into all sorts. It doesn't have to be like an animal. It could be
Okay.
like, like a
Haven't
weather-
you
a
seen
storm.
Encanto?
I could turn into a storm, and then I can
Can't be a
I
storm.
can shapeshift.
I'm not allowing it.
into anything I want, Mikey.
I'm out.
Have you watched Encanto?
No.
One of the characters does shapeshifting.
Oh.
How do they fare?
Yeah.
Are they lonely?
No?
Do they
Are they
have,
in an existential crisis?
Yeah.
No.
can they communicate then with the things that they shapeshift with?
But I think they only shapeshift into people.
That's another
You can
thing.
shapeshift
They
into
could be
people.
That's the thing. I could
mean-
be anyone. This is dangerous.
Interesting.
It's dangerous.
If you can be people, I'm reevaluating my thought process.
No, you're not allowed to. You put rules on mine. I put rules on yours.
To be
Stop
fair,
us. Spots down.
I've still got my answer. That's fair. You're a shapeshifter.
I'm
You,
shape-shifting.
Angel, would be. What was the other one?
Teleport or become invisible. I'm going to say, anyone's becoming invisible, I'm disappointed in you already.
Oh, and that's what I was going with.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I was going to go invisible.
Why would you pick
'Cause
invisible?
I feel you like to observe situations. So if you could just be somewhere and fully be present and in that situation, but just seeing what's going off and observing it, you'd really enjoy seeing people's unfiltered sides. That's where I'm at.
Would you do it? Would you be invisible? I don't think you would. I think you shapeshift because you could do the same.
No, I didn't pick either one of those.
Really?
teleporting.
Okay. You're a teleporter.
I picked teleporting. I mean,
Fair.
I think it would make sense. I'm thousands of miles away from my family.
Oh,
you know, if I
a
could-
nice wholesome
If I could-
reason. Yeah, that's lovely.
I mean, and there's so many places you want to see in your lifetime, isn't there? Like the
you're
ability to
right.
just go there in
Yeah.
an instant.
Yeah, you're
Why
right.
not?
yeah.
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 What's the temperature like? Bloody well, I'd find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Naturally, a little bit. Yeah.
You're
There
like,
and
cool.
back.
Yeah.
I fancy a burrito.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go
hop
and
back
get
to
it.
the taco truck real quick, and I'll be right
Definitely.
back.
But I'm thinking if I'm shapeshifting, I wanted a burrito. I'd be like, I'm the burrito man, and then I'd just like be in a Mexican person making a burrito, eat the burrito, and then shapeshift my way into.
I feel
The bus.
you've teleported then.
But I'm a person. I can shapeshift. I can shapeshift
You can
into
shapeshift,
anyone,
but you can be a
anywhere.
burrito man, but you're still on this bus. You're not got loads of burritos just suddenly
I'd
around
be
you.
like anything you want. You'd be like, I want to be a planet. I want to be a.
I like her idea,
I do, but it's
think
very
it makes-
teleporty, and that's one of
That's
the.
why it's the best
but
one.
I
'cause it
also
can
do
all
like
the
your
other ones.
observation.
Oh,
Like
you got to
I
question
do,
these things.
I
Do that
do
for
like
shapeshifting.
unfiltered. I prefer unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
But you could go
like
into the
people,
meeting
yeah.
as the person, like you could like
I get ya.
shapeshift into the president or your boss or whatever, anyone that you want
Yeah,
to like
you could
listen
really
to.
get.
And
That
then
would
you-
be
your point
terrifying for me
across.
though, because then somebody would inevitably ask you a question. You'd be like,
You'd be like,
yeah,
do you know
of
what?
course.
They have, yeah, but
Remember that day on Saturday we were out together? You're like,
No.
what did we do? That's so true.
But you can like, you know, like, fuck their life up and get out of it. Like they have to live with the consequences. I'm out of here. I'm shapeshifting.
We're getting the real nature and essence of you right now.
getting the unfiltered version.
You don't need this.
Okay, what do you think I was?
You're teleporting. No, you're invisible. I think you're invisible.
What do you think, Angel? Where you at?
I don't know, because I think, to be fair, I think all of us could do a bit of all
Yeah,
three.
they do.
Like,
Yeah, they do.
we'd have our different reasons for each one.
100%. It's not how we play the game.
Because you're because you're a very observant person.
Mm-hmm.
You like to be in the know of things. You like
Yeah.
to check out things. Obviously, you've got a love of nature,
Mm-hmm.
so the shape shifting thing might appeal to you because
Mm.
you're like, hey, I want to know what it's like to be that peacock in my garden right now.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're a bit like me. I think you'd be like, I want to be there.
Mm.
I think teleporting.
You both nailed
You're on
it.
time.
You're fully. Yeah, I don't know how you psychoanalyze me and what you take from that, but I just what I hate at home is the preparation of it, because I've got a
Yes.
daughter now and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and it that bit where you
the
taking
build-up
so
to
long
everything.
to get somewhere, and
Yeah.
I love being there, but it's just that. Get your coat on. I've got to get my stuff done. Oh, take the bins out now. Okay,
Wait
I'll
till
just do
she's a
this.
teenager. It gets even worse.
Really, just doubles up. Cheers, Angel. I am going to have an existential crisis on this bus. But yeah, me and Chrissy, we're good doers. We do lots, but just have to get through that first hurdle. If we don't clear the hurdle,
Yeah.
we will stay in all day.
You're stuck in the pen.
And that's it.
Yeah.
We're just there and we won't do the thing. If we
Yeah.
if we get our shoes on, walk outside, we'll do everything for the day. But it's just getting
Yeah.
outside sometimes.
Yeah.
So
It's easy to
Yeah.
do when you've got a little one as well. It's easy to just be like, nah, it's too much effort, too much work. You've got to pack the diaper bag, the going out bag, the food,
Yeah.
the extra clothing, because there's always going to be an issue. It needs extra clothing.
teleporting would be brilliant. I mean, because say if I'm in bed just with my boxers on,
Yeah.
and I teleport somewhere. So I do need to teleport around the house, but even that'd be good for me.
Yeah.
Just I'm downstairs, I've got my stuff,
It's a start.
I'm in there, I'm there. It's just even the little micro bits of going into the next room. I'm like, do I
Made
have
it
to?
better.
Yeah, upstairs. So yeah, teleport all the way around the house, and then bosh, we're in Nottingham.
Yeah.
We're at a nice farm. I'm done.
Like it.
Good question, Sust.
They are good questions. I like these ones.
Is this the?
All
This
right,
isn't the
this
last
is the
cake,
last
is it?
cake.
It's
I'm
the final
gutted. I'm
cake
loving this.
round.
This is a great episode.
There you go.
Cheers, lovely.
All right, so this one, you have to be a coffee lover. for.
Yes.
It is a very strong flavor.
Good.
I've actually had 3 coffees today
Yes.
already, so
I have had many
Well, you'll be
coffees.
happy to know the actual coffee that I use in the main bit is decaf. It's only the
Grill.
beans that are proper coffee.
Chris is so lucky because she's gonna have all these halves afterwards. Apart from that one, because I think I'm gonna have the Jaffa one after.
Yes.
Or somewhere. What's that?
My dad, I was like, I'll pay you with cake. My dad gives me lifts everywhere.
Yeah. Awesome.
I remember what that was like before I started driving
I
here.
know, I'm doing my driving. Like, it's taken forever though because of Corona.
It took
I
me
started and
3
it was a year.
tries.
Then again, another year, and it's like, yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, that's
You
nice
ready, guys?
Cake.
No,
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Angel nose.
I know what these taste like.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the crunch in my headphones.
I made sure I got that on there. The coffee. Oh my god! Did you get the coffee bean when you did it? Yeah, get it in there. That's really good. Really, really, really good.
It's decadent.
Yeah, that one's probably one of the more richer ones
is
that I do.
decadent.
That is a strong taste.
Yeah. It doesn't have a jelly thing either.
It's got a fudge layer.
Is it fudge layer? It looks like a seasoning.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I'm so glad I took the coffee bean in with me because that gives it that extra oomph.
Yeah.
And the coffee taste really comes through. You've done a good job putting that on there.
Yeah.
That works. It's probably on par now. I've really enjoyed it. I'm a massive into the chocolate myself, but yeah, it's definitely up there with the Jaffa. I've really enjoyed that. So that's a fudge in the middle as well.
So you've
Go
got
on,
the
run us through it. Let's go.
the chocolate
Come on.
base, and then the middle is a
That's a
coffee.
strong taste. I
It
love
is.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I decided to leave it to last
Good
because
shout.
it would have
Decadent.
overshadowed everything.
Mm.
But it's got a dark chocolate
See how dark
coffee
it is.
fudge in the middle. You can just see it there glinting.
Yeah.
And then just the normal chocolate buttercream, and then the coffee beans on top. Because one of my favorite things when I was growing up that made me feel grown up was chocolate covered coffee beans.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
great
them.
shout.
I love
Big.
So when I started making cookies, I was like, chocolate covered coffee bean cookies.
Like, I'm
And everybody looked at me weird.
No,
They're like,
I'm in.
wait, you're putting roasted coffee beans on top of a cookie? And I'm like, oh, yes, I am. And in the cookie,
Watch and learn.
it's in the dough. And they're like, but whole beans? I'm like, yeah, it works. I
Yeah.
promise.
I
and
like
it
the
does.
idea of it. 'Cause it's
Oh,
crunchy. You can have a crunchy cookie anyway.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky because I've finished on my 2 favourites. It's really good.
high.
It's finished on a full
Where she
high.
started on hers.
Yeah.
Ended on a low note.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
The Jaffa brought it back.
Jaffa
The Jaffa
was
was
good,
like,
wasn't
hey. I was like, yes.
Did the Jaffa beat the lime?
The lime and the Jaffa are both 10s.
Both 10s.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
The,
I had 2 finishing 10s. I
I
love
think
that
it
we
was. Or did I put the lime at a 9?
Nine.
Yeah.
9 the lime.
Yeah, then it was the 8 for the
Pirate booty.
Pirate booty.
Yep.
And then 7, German, and rhubarb. And now the coffee is going to sit next to the pirate booty.
Pirate booty. Lovely
Hey.
jubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you've done us proud today,
It's
Angel.
amazing.
This has
Yeah.
been amazing.
It
You're a wizard. And this isn't even your speciality.
No.
You're a
Nice.
cookie girl.
Yeah. So essentially what I've done for you, if you want to know what the cookies taste like,
Yes,
it's
please.
essentially the
Yeah.
same.
Mate. Yeah, so sorry everybody that I am
Didn't get the cookies.
a gluten-free
Diva. Screams
One of
like,
the-
I'm not having cookies.
one of those guys.
You guys will just have to come around.
Oh, well, come on and eat cookies
I could
any
have,
day, love. Any day.
I could have just took
Ring
one for the
me.
team, couldn't I, and just eaten the cookies.
No.
And
Took you to hospital afterwards.
No.
Wheeled me
Mikey
off
don't
after.
look well.
No, people tell that to me all the time because I'm like, God, I really miss cheese, and they're like, here, just have a bite of this
No.
pizza.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'd
And I'm
rather
like,
not shit my pants.
you know what? To be
Thanks,
fair,
but no thanks.
if that was the only consequence, I think I'd deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's the cramping.
Oh
and
my
the,
god! I had it recently, but all night I've
God.
doubled in size.
Yeah.
It's just so full
It's
and
like,
painful,
like a
and I'm
demon
just
coming
like,
out of you.
I can't sleep.
Have you ever had food poisoning?
Oh gosh, I've had norovirus.
So that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's
nasty.
awful.
So I just avoid dairy
And
altogether.
then it just keeps like grumbling
Yeah.
at you all night, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
here I am.
yeah, I've had it. It's
Well,
bad.
Or one more question then from Sust.
Go on then.
I think
Yep.
it's Angel's question
Angel.
as well.
It's Angel's question.
Pick a card, any
Quite
card.
like this game.
You need to get
You
Sust.
should buy
We
one.
love Sust.
Yeah.
Yes, Sust. Hey,
Buy-
Sust.
Buy some
you
cookies
sus?
so I can buy the
Yeah,
game.
yes, Sust.
Just
We do
try that.
swapsies.
Swapsies.
All right, let's see here. Ooh.
I just want to eat them.
I'm being really reserved.
I am
for
being
Chris-
so reserved. I'm like the
Chrissy.
best behaved dog at the table.
Yeah.
I'm like, occasionally look at them and look back at the camera.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the unicorn one again.
Seems
'Cause these ones seem to be my
forte.
interested. Yeah. If I had a key to see into the soul, I'd most want to look into A, a loved one's soul, B, my idol's soul, or C, my own.
Ooh, provoking of thought.
I have an answer straight away. I was like, okay, that's yeah.
For you, I think it would be a loved one.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I think we're on a similar vibe, but then I've basically said what mine is now.
Yeah, that's what I have to be careful to do. So I'm
Don't.
just choosing mine all the time. So I'm
Okay.
trying not to do that.
No, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with an idols.
You think so?
Yeah,
is your
I
idol?
do. I think an
My
idol.
idol.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I have just one or
Choose. Okay, give them all of those, or
somebody
just choose
that I
top of the pops. Which ones? Are...
somebody I look up to, or
Yeah,
like,
anything.
Yeah. Somebody you'd like to sit on this bus with now and have a chat with, like we've had a chat.
Yeah.
Anybody in the world.
Tea and
Oh,
cake.
that's a hard one. There are so many.
They can be dead or
So
alive.
many.
There you go.
Yeah,
Just made it
you
twice as hard.
made it double
No,
hard.
you can't do it because if it's dead, then it's just going to be my dad. Full
Dead or...
stop.
Oh, that's
Nice
good.
idol.
That's
I like that.
Good.
You
yeah.
you got a good heart.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Well, he did save my life. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we need this story.
Uh-huh.
Like, coming out.
I grew up in a family dynamic that was difficult. I don't want to down everybody's day. So
Would you come back on the podcast and do a chat with me on these? Because you've got so many
I could if you want.
variations and layers and stories. I would love to do going into the depths.
I had a lot. I experienced a lot of things a child shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And my dad came along when I was about 10. He's my stepdad.
Okay.
But he was very much an influence in my home life where he got the drugs to stop and the abuse to stop.
Right.
And he treated me like a human being.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
one of the first times I really felt supported, loved, seen like a person.
Yeah, human.
I wasn't a slave. I wasn't an extra parent. I wasn't, a piece of trash
Yeah.
that somebody had collected and didn't want.
Worthless.
Yeah, it was a really good time. And we butted heads.
Yeah.
We did. And then when I moved out, when I was 19, he was still there. He always gave me good advice, no matter what. Even if he knew what I was doing was wrong, he'd just be like, "You're gonna do it, just do it."
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Yeah.
So would you have gone into his soul then to feel how do you become such an empathetic, kind-hearted, compassionate person?
I think my dad experienced quite a lot of things I'll never know about. Because I've since got to meet some of his siblings that I didn't even know he had. And they've shared some stories with me that are all good, but I think people from similar backgrounds tend to be a certain way. They either go one way or the other. They go a dark way or they go to a helpful way.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I wouldn't change what happened because it's put me on the path that I'm on. Like
Nice.
I'm in school currently for psychology to go on to help teenagers.
I love it.
So yeah.
It's a perfect answer. I don't think you win at Sust, but I think you might have. You definitely, you get my adulations there. You smashed it. Do you have, what was it out of? It was your own soul?
So a loved one's, your idol, or your own.
Oh, and that was a loved one and an idol, so technically you cheated.
No, you changed it.
The
a bit.
parameters.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Toughie.
For you, I'm gonna go with your own. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Your own soul.
Yeah.
Why?
Figure some things out.
So you're on that path.
Yeah.
You're ready to
Yeah.
work out what you want in life or out of life. Or...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Because I do want things and I start like, right, going to get the things. And I start to get the things. And I'm like, no, not sure I want the thing. And then start to back away.
I get you.
Yeah, so I need to...
That's a nice bit of honesty on the podcast.
Yeah,
So
need
this
to
has been a
figure
lovely
these
ending.
things.
I'm like, you're going, guys,
wholesome,
I'm a new man. Okay, what do you think I am?
I think yours is going to be... It's either going to be a loved one, which might cross over into idol also.
Yeah, there's a crossover there,
Yeah.
isn't there? If it's the loved one, you idolise them in some manner, don't you?
Yeah.
But I know that you do a lot of inward thinking already.
Did too much of that.
Done after that.
I've done it all.
Yeah, done, tick,
Yeah.
to do, finished, got the hoodie. Yeah, I'm going for I think it's loved one, but I think it's an idol as well. I think it's going to be very similar.
What do you think, Angel? Where do you think I'm at?
I think you do idol.
Idol,
I think there's a certain list of people that you've got that you want on this bus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know, you've nailed it.
I have a few names, I won't mention them. Just in case.
I listened to that question and I thought, I would never want to get into the loved one's soul.
No, because you might not.
It's too opening, and I love them to pieces.
It's an intrusion as well.
Yeah,
a
it's an
little bit.
intrusion.
Yeah, I would
100%.
feel like I feel a bit icky knowing the things.
Yeah,
that I shouldn't really.
Some things you don't want to know.
Yeah, or you shouldn't know.
I do genuinely
Yeah,
think ignorance is bliss
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
It's good to just love it for what it is.
It's mystique as well.
Yeah,
so
the mystery is
yeah,
important.
Yeah.
Your own, you can go too far, and I think I did at one stage, and I quite grounded in where I'm at, who I am, what I want out of life, and I feel a bit more settled there. But idols, there's so many people that have helped me find that and that path, and people that I look up to. And you're right, I'd love to talk to for an hour platform, and to listen to them's one thing, but to hear the inner workings and how they operate and what's actually going on
It's to
is
understand
another
it,
thing.
not just hear it.
Yeah.
To completely understand it.
Understand it and go, oh, that's how they got to this point.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
The
that
big
would
picture.
that would be awesome. I thought Russell Brand's up there.
I knew that
one
was a
was
big
going.
one.
There's a few.
If he had asked which ones, that was my top
Go on,
choice.
Russell Brand is one. I mentioned him on here. Who else you think?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, he's wicked. I think he's so important at the minute. Who he's having on, the conversations. It just seems on my Facebook at the minute.
He's
but
been
you know,
on the
like Lad
news.
Bible,
Yeah,
Uni
there's
Bible.
a big thing about him at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's all
All
about.
has-beens, like
I
artists.
don't know what's going on because there was a thing with James James
Oh,
Blunt.
but he was backhanded. That wasn't
I didn't get
real.
it. I just saw it on my feed today. That's why I was like, do I mention Joe Rogan in
James-
case it's got a bad thing
Nah,
associated?
James
Gary-
Blunt is really known for being very funny
Sarcastic, yeah.
and sarcastic, and he threatened
To
Spotify
release,
to
yeah.
release more music if Joe Rogan doesn't get taken
Yeah.
down.
Why do they want him taken down? We don't have to go into it.
It was because
It's like
misinformation
right,
about the coronavirus, about
right,
vaccine.
right.
But,
Oh, is that what it
again,
is? Because
I've
there was
listened
someone else the other day who was like taking it, and I was
yeah,
like, I don't
and
know.
they
what
have
the-
removed their
Oh, yeah.
music.
Okay, well, fuck them.
But, yeah, I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
work like that, does it?
Well, they've self-censored, haven't they?
Yeah.
At least it's not a company choosing to censor.
Yeah.
If they're saying, I don't want to be a part of this company, then
Then,
you're
yeah.
censoring yourself.
Yeah.
That's fine. Put
Yeah.
it. There's lots of platforms for it.
Yeah, true.
So I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
They're deciding what to do for themselves.
Yes.
He'd definitely be one. Another. I'd probably pick Ricky Gervais.
Really?
Yeah.
You've blown me away with
Ricky
that.
Gervais is
Ricky Gervais
brilliant.
is not like...
He's awesome.
That's like the Baby Bell of the cheese. I didn't think you were going to be like, Ricky Gervais. I'm like, I thought you were going to be like...
You don't.
all singing on-
Do you like
no,
Ricky
I like
Gervais?
him, but
No.
it's not what I thought you
He's
were
quite.
going
He's
to pull
quite
out the bag.
earthly. He's quite
No,
grounded.
he's nice. He is nice.
And
I know him. I know him.
If it was Dead and Alive, and
Yeah.
you've got like Eckhart Tolle's alive,
Give
but
me
like
Dead
Alan
Foot,
Watts
yeah.
and all that.
Who would you have as
Alan
Dead?
Watts,
Alan
probably.
Watts.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he is very.
His
mystique.
daughter teaches at Essalon still.
Really?
Yeah, which is in Big Sur.
I've seen she's got a podcast out, I believe, and then I think she uses. I don't know if this is correct, but clips and snippets of Alan Watts,
Oh, that's
and she sort of
sweet.
talks
I like
about
that.
it.
No,
And
that's lovely.
yeah, it is beautiful.
That's
I think
Nice.
her and is it her sister? They have a book out or something.
Okay.
I think I remember seeing
Yeah, I'm
something
gonna
like
have
that.
to. I'll put that into the podcast notes if that is. But yeah, that.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I think I remember seeing something about it, but because I'm on the Alan Watts page.
We've all got like half-hashed
Yeah.
visions of what Alan Watts has been up to and his
No.
daughters and so on. But yeah, Alan Watts is cool. I do like the way
Yeah, we
of his
listen a
philosophy.
lot.
And I love it because I love lo-fi music. Do you know
Yep.
lo-fi beats?
We put that on while we're painting.
Oh really? Oh
sometimes.
mate, yeah. So lo-fi music, and then Alan Watts keeps coming in and interjecting with beauty.
Aw.
So yeah, he'd be one. But no, I like quite grounded, silly people. Cole Pilkington.
If you ever
Ricky
go to
Gervais
Essalon,
style.
you'll know why.
Really?
Beautiful. Yeah.
How
I mean, it's
so?
on fire at the moment.
What's this?
Essalon itself is not on fire, but Big Sur.
Okay.
It's part of the Central Coast where I come
Yeah.
from. But Essalon is an institute where they do talks like Alan Watts used to teach there.
Wow.
It's like a retreat. Like they do classes and spirituality classes and stuff like that there, but you can just go, and if you've got like $5,000.
I was
you
about
can-
to say.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
that people
but
who
it's
sit in a courtside?
But it is so beautiful.
Did he inspire you with
Absolutely.
your philosophy and psychology?
No.
No.
Alan Watts is something that's come into my life in the last 6 or 7 years. But no, most of my philosophy and stuff just comes from working in that industry with my kids.
Yeah, of
I
course.
worked with a program called Wraparound Initiative in Monterey County, and it was incredible.
Really?
Absolutely incredible. And I miss it so much. Originally, Angles Sinfully Delicious was going to finance getting a pilot program here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it costs a lot of money, and I was like, how am I going to get the money? And I'm like, oh, I can bake. Like a giant bake
And yes,
sale.
you can. Bake
Yeah.
you can. What do you have any idols
Yeah.
and people? If you were to get into their soul, who would you go for?
I don't know, like a lot of mine are probably dead, to be honest with you, Mike.
That's all right. You're allowed.
Cheery creature that I am. I've always been a big fan of Bill Hicks, so he'd be like one of the idols that I'd like to sit down
good
with
one.
and
Bill
drink
Hicks
with
is a great
and
shout.
have a good old time.
I love the
chat with him.
Life's a Ride.
I just love him.
talk.
Yeah, I
Bill
just absolutely
Hicks.
love him. Beautiful guy.
Life is like a ride in an amusement park.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a ride. Yeah, beautiful person, genuinely beautiful person. Like when you read like his autobiography, like you just realize he had a lot of soul when a lot of people thought he was quite misogynistic and things like that, and it wasn't like he was a wreckhead. He had like his addictions, came from like a good God-fearing kind of background. He used to sneak out and do comedy shows when he was like 10.
Psychedelics that sort of
he did
lifted him?
psychedelics.
I mean, I know he was so known for it, but
he
is
was
that
a
what
pisshead. That's
brought
what
him-
his bad one was, drinking and
Okay.
smoking, and that was his hardest one to tame.
I've seen him just go off
Oh, wait,
at
yeah,
audiences.
yeah,
He's
and he did,
screaming at them,
yeah, and he
but
lost-
just plays it off and just
Yeah,
keeps going.
Yeah, but-
Bukowski's an author. That
Yeah,
I would,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Bukowski.
yeah.
I'd love to have a chat with him.
yeah. Houdini.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
The love story of
okay.
Houdini. Yeah.
What would you ask him? No, you're his soul, actually.
It
You won't have
comes
to
with a
ask him
thing. I'm
anything.
just like, get out of this one. Ask him all sorts. Like, how did you get into it? How did you start doing it? Like, it's a weird thing to, when you're a kid, you mess around with loads of stuff, and just to be like, no, this is the thing. I'm like, it's just such a strange thing. And I love magic as well. I
Is
think
he one of
magic's
those
amazing.
that died in
Yeah,
his
he died
in
in
his
a trick.
act?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
and was it
drowned.
because somebody went to him the day before? Apparently, this is true, and he could do this thing where he could get punched by anybody.
Oh, is it to do with his breathing?
And so basically, people used to come and punch him. Like, have you seen The Simpsons where Homer gets hit by cannonballs?
Yeah. And then
That's
he'd
the
absorb
spin-off
it.
from Houdini.
Yeah.
So Houdini could take and absorb any punch, but a guy came to him, this crazy fan, and punched him without him knowing it, like just a sucker punch. And then the next day in the show, he had to do this breathing thing in the water.
He was in the chamber. Yeah.
And because of that punch,
Shit.
it stopped him being able to do his trick, and then he died during. I thought, I heard that was true. My dad told me that one.
I reckon your dad's telling the truth.
I think that's the truth. Who's the other comedian that died mid-act as well? Have you seen that? He had a heart attack.
Oh,
Is it Ken Dodd?
It was Ken Dodd, yeah.
Do you know Ken Dodd? It's really what you can watch it still on YouTube.
Yeah.
His death.
It looks like a rabbit sucking a sweet.
Yeah,
He thought he'd wear like a fez.
he had a fez on. Yeah,
That's the best
But-
way. Wait till you look him up, you'll be like, I see it. I
he was
see it.
very I don't know what the word is, but performative in his.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just a comedian. He'd
Yeah.
do loads of silly, fancy
Yeah.
stuff, and mid-act, he started having a heart attack, and everyone's like laughing,
Yeah,
Oh,
it
no.
wasn't
and
part of
they
the
think
act.
it's part of the act,
Yeah.
and he's doing it, and then it just goes on a bit too long, where he's on the
Yeah,
floor.
Like, what's this weird dance
Yeah.
he's doing? He's
Why?
doing break dancing.
And now he's not, but yeah. You can still watch that.
Yeah,
But it's kind of a bit of sweetness and a beauty to that.
died
Do you
doing
know-
what he loved.
I think that's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
When I watched it, Scroobius Pip, do you know him?
I know Scrooge.
He'd got a song
yeah.
about that
Right.
moment.
Ah.
It's been a lovely podcast,
It
hasn't
has. I've
it?
enjoyed it. It's been very sweet.
Angel, what do you think to this podcast? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah. It's my first one.
On the
so-
taster sessions, are you going to come
taster
back on the back of the bus?
Yeah, anytime.
Sounds like you've got a story to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And I'm
And I'm the man to get it out of here.
I'm more than happy to listen. But it's been awesome. So I'll say thank you to Sus.
Thank you, Sus.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
And Angel, let everybody know where they can
Beautiful,
go
beautiful
if they want
cakes.
to get some cookies and cakes from you.
Yeah, so we can be found on just about every platform. We have a brain went blank.
It's okay. Social
Website?
media.
I have a website.
Yeah.
It's asdcookieco.com.
Awesome.
And there's links onto that for all of our socials.
And you're on Insta,
We're
Facebook.
on Instagram,
Do you bother with
Facebook,
Twitter?
kind of.
Oh,
We're on
same.
Twitter. We're kind of on TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok's
Yeah.
ever. I
I
got it
can't
and I was
do
like, it's too
TikTok.
much to do.
I get
I tried
stuck.
so hard.
Overwhelming.
The problem is I'm sure I'm undiagnosed ADD because I'll go to make a video on TikTok for my cookies, but I'll end up on my For You page
Yep.
scrolling.
Yeah,
And then I'm
I
like,
get-
why was I here?
Yeah.
I get so lost
So
on
Loose
that.
ends, I call it. Like a loose
so
end.
I
Yeah,
just
loose end.
I kind of avoid it
And
now.
I can't-
'Cause I lose
It really is
time.
It's
effort.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's too
lose
much.
time.
And everything's screaming. It's just too.
It feels like there's a right and wrong way of
Yeah,
doing it
I
as
don't
well,
like it.
TikTok.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I love it,
Sinister.
but I love it too much, so I just leave it. But yeah, we're also on. If you look up the website for Vegan Friendly, we're on there,
Amazing.
and there's an app for Happy Cow.
Yes,
which
I
is
know
the
Happy
vegan
Cow.
website.
Yes, yes.
Yep. We're on Happy Cow as well.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Guys, thank you. Hasn't this been lovely?
It has been wonderful.
Taster
It's been
sessions.
very sweet. It's been
What-
very tasty.
Do you know what we're doing next one?
Well,
Oh, it's Valentine's.
it's Valentine's. So what I'm trying to get us in on a speed dating night somewhere. So I'm trying to do that and take the sussed cards and ask the questions.
That's
now,
going to be cool.
It's going to be cool. The one thing I think we might come up against, though, because they've not got back to me, so I'm going to ring them and apply some pressure next week, is it might be that the other people there might not want to be filmed.
That's true.
And that has crossed my mind. So I spent it, I put it out there. The other idea is going on to Plant, which is a vegan vegetarian restaurant in Derby.
Okay.
On Saddlegate.
I like that.
And he's got some gin, he's got some food, and we're playing around with the idea of us actually going there.
Nice. I
and
like
doing
it.
there. So it's
See how it all unfolds.
I think it's going to be either very romantic or it's going to be plant based.
Hey,
Beautiful.
it could be both.
It could be both. It could be both.
It will be on a date.
Good.
Beautiful. Thank you for being a part of the
Thank
Taster
you.
Sessions podcast. Really appreciate this, Angel. Beautiful.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Cakes and questions.
Cakes
we did
and
it.
questions. We did it.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Nice work, team. Thank you for listening to the Taster Sessions podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Please leave us a review on our Spotify.
If you're watching this over on YouTube, then if you want to give us a like, a subscription, and a share, that would be great as well. You can also suggest anyone that you'd like us to taste on our show.